Uncia.
And welcome to Overwatch Apex Season 2. I am Doe. With me is Monte Cristo as usual. And today, the final day of the group stages. Two last best of fives. Cloud9 versus KongDoo Uncia starting things off. And then Fnatic versus Runaway. And don't go anywhere, because after the matches are done today, we're doing our round of a group selection. A lot going on today.
Absolutely a lot going on. And just to get into it right away, guys, it is a sort of do-or-die battle for the Western teams. Cloud9 must beat KongDoo Uncia to continue to the quarterfinals in this season of Apex. The reason why is, even if they were to have the same map score at -1 by losing 2-3, they would lose the tiebreaker to Africa Freaks Blue, because they did lose to them in the best of 5 already. So they have to win. Doesn't matter what map score. And then in our second match, whichever team wins between Fnatic and Runaway will be the second team from Group D heading to the playoffs. So everything on the line tonight. Regardless of what happens, though, KongDoo Uncia is through in first place in Group C.
Yep, that's right. And both KongDoo teams this season have been doing really amazingly. KongDoo Panthera slightly better in terms of game score overall, but KongDoo Uncia, I think, is right up there. I mean, it's going to be really interesting to see what happens in the playoffs, especially if these two teams end up meeting somehow.
Yeah, and we have a lot of changes to rosters or to roles coming in today as well, as these teams fight for these last remaining playoff seeds, including starting with Cloud9. I was talking to Bishop, who's the trial coach for C9, on a great podcast that I do with Thorin called Oversight.
I think I've heard of that.
Check it out. So he was our guest this week, and he was talking about how they're trying to move Mendo more into the flex tank role and move Surefour off of that. They've been running a lot of triple DPS compositions, but it seems like they may be attempting to go more for a 2-2-2 style of comp tonight.
I mean, I think it's good. Surefour, we saw him, I think, bust out the Zarya in a more meaningful way back at the World Cup last year, and it just has never really looked great. I mean, he's been able to play it adequately, but to me anyway, he's never looked comfortable on the hero. I'm glad that they're kind of moving him off it. I feel like it's kind of a waste to have him on the Zarya, frankly. So I think this is probably going to be a good direction for them.
I think his Zarya's been good, but I do agree that maybe it doesn't play to his greatest strengths, and I think that Cloud9 as a team have suffered from identity crisis at times, where we have compositions that don't make a lot of sense, that are based around trying to mechanically outplay and outduel people, which is what we saw in that Africa Blue game, as opposed to playing more towards the team-based strengths of a particular meta. So that's the big question, is have they solved those problems? Because the loss to Africa Blue was sort of embarrassing, and they were actually saved by Conmox beating Africa Blue, which is the only reason why tonight they even have a chance of making it into the playoffs.
Well, that match was really messy, too. The Africa Blue versus Cloud9 match from the last one Cloud9 played anyway. They had some good attacks, I felt, here and there. They ran some successful triple DPS stuff. They had some decent 2-2-2 once in a while. They ran Pharmacy a little bit. But overall, everything needs to be tightened up, especially, I think, on defense for these guys. They got rolled pretty hard, and if that happens tonight, they've got no chance.
Yeah, it hasn't been about a lack of mechanical ability, right?
Sure.
It's been about a lack of communication, poor ult economy, taking fights that they shouldn't have, and playing more of a solo queue style. And coming together as a team is difficult, but if they are able to do that, they certainly rank up skill-wise as one of the better teams at this tournament.
Well, I mean, with Surefour, Mendo, and Gods on the team, you've got
Rib's been doing great too. I think Rib's has probably been their best player over the last couple of matches. He's been very reliable on the tank.
Well, the point is they've got an incredible amount of mechanical skill, but like we've seen, I feel like we've said this about so many teams this season, where there's a ton of individual skill, but they just need to channel that into good team play.
Yeah, and that's the problem, Doa, because KongDoo Uncia has some exceptional team play, and overcoming them is going to be very difficult.
Well, I mean, like Monty mentioned earlier, the theme for the night is win it to stay in it, basically, for our two best of fives. Cloud9 and KongDoo Uncia playing. I mean, KongDoo Uncia already going through, but Cloud9, if they can win, they can go through as well.
There is a possibility of Cloud9 still exiting this group in first place, but it would require them to 3-0 KongDoo Uncia, which I think is definitely a stretch considering what we've seen from KongDoo so far.
Yeah, I mean, you never know.
Never know.
This season has shown us. You never really know, but it'd be a surprise based on previous results. In our second match, Group D match, Runaway versus Fnatic. Whoever wins goes through. Simple as that.
Yeah, very, very cut and dry in that second one. Also, Runaway is now going to be playing with Coma and Bumper, which are two players that they played with in promotions for this league but dropped out. And apparently they have switched Cox over to the Ana role. So that's going to be really interesting to see how Runaway fares with that many roster and role swaps for their final match.
You know, I do agree that I think Runner needed to go. He was sort of the figurehead for the team for a while, and, you know, while the team was kind of being carried by the individual talent of everyone else, it made sense, I guess, but now I think it's a little bit better that he steps back. Having Cox move to Flex, though, that's going to be interesting, because Cox was such a good DPS talent that it might be another one of those situations where you've got the right guy in the wrong role, you know?
I'm skeptical that this is going to work. I think it actually does
same.
give Fnatic a pretty hefty advantage, at least when it comes to their comfort. Now, Runaway, though, it is worth noting that with a similar roster, they weren't running Stitch at the time in the promotions. They were on fire, won every single game that they played to make it back into Apex. So I think that the skill ceiling on that particular roster is higher. It's just a matter of have they gotten enough teamwork together with this particular lineup to win today.
Also, I thought Shine was good. I'm kind of sad to see him go. I didn't think he needed to be removed at all, but you know, we don't know what's going on in that team house, so we'll see how it looks in our second match. But as we said earlier, Cloud9 versus KongDoo Uncia, then Fnatic versus Runaway, our two best of fives, and after that, we're doing the group draw ceremony. So stick around, see what teams are going where in the round of 8. Should be cool.
Yeah, that's going to be really fun. We'll describe that in depth a little bit more later.
Yeah.
But KongDoo Uncia coming into this, we've talked a lot about Cloud9. These guys have been exceptional in exactly the way Cloud9 has not been, which is ult economy management and also just the teamwork, putting together very good flanks, having excellent positioning, setting up crossfires. It has been nearly immaculate from them, and I'm excited to see them play again. Yes, they've been playing a lot of triple tank with a Soldier or a McCree or a Tracer or a Genji, but it's they do so well in their planning and communication.
We saw so much from them in their last match, too. I mean, we saw those great flanks on King's Row. We saw Dance pull out some great Widowmaker as well, even though he's been playing mostly the Roadhog lately and been doing very well at that. So both KongDoo teams all season long, I've been feeling like are the total package in terms of the mechanical skill plus the really good team play. And, yeah, these guys are definitely shoo-ins to go very far in the tournament.
Yeah, and they've been particularly good about dealing with some of the 1v1 duels. When we reflect on KongDoo Uncia's win over Africa Blue, Arhan basically had no effect on their backline because they were consistently winning the 1v1s versus the Genji.
Yeah.
And that's scary, I think, if you're Cloud9, because you need to win those if you are going to be KongDoo. You have to beat them, I think, if you're C9 on that individual level, because you're not going to have that same level of coordination in this short period of time between matches.
Yeah, I mean, the one small nitpicky thing that we saw from KongDoo in their last match is that they had occasions against Conbox where they did get a bit too cocky. They went for flanks that were a bit too far-reaching, maybe went for ults that they didn't need, and they paid for it. But let's learn a little bit more.
I feel disappointed that we lost. As much as they played well, I feel like we made a lot of mistakes and we kind of defeated ourselves in a way. But not to take anything away from that team, because the Freak Freaks are amazing. Arhan in junk.
자리가 이미 다 만들어줬죠. 카드를 다 만들어준 상황에서 딜은 뛰어넘기만 했을 뿐입니다. 아, 부처. 네, 원래 이 선수가 이제 뭐 라인하르트 이런 거 많이 하다가 자리아로 넘어왔는데 더 전성기를 맞이한 듯한 느낌이네요.
판테라 있을 때는 라인하르트를 했었는데 제 자신한테 스트레스를 좀 많이 받았어요. 저랑 잘 안 맞는 것 같더라고요. 하다 보니까 서브 탱커 자리아나 디바, 윈스턴을 다루는 포지션으로 운시아로 와가지고 좀 편안하게 경기했던 것 같아요.
멘도 선수가 뒤쪽으로 몰래 돌아간다든지 이런 뭔가 개인 기량에서 나오는 슈퍼플레이 이런 것들이 상당히 좀 뛰어나게 잘 작용을 하고 있는 것 같아요.
C9은 개인적으로 저희 형제 팀인 판테라랑 비슷하게 팀 플레이적이지 않고 그냥 개인 피지컬 위주로 플레이하는 스타일이라고 생각해요.
Without ever playing against them, just from what people tell me, I would say they're easily a top 5 team in North America if they were to play there.
이번 대회에서는 결승까지 한번 내다볼 수 있는 지금 분위기라면 충분히 갈 수 있을 듯한 그런 기세의 콩도 언시입니다. 네.
컴박스랑 C9전에서 그 경기를 지켜봤는데 윈스턴, 디바, 겐지, 트레이서를 쓰는 조합한테 좀 약한 것 같아요. 돌진 조합을 준비하면 될 것 같아요.
We just need to find our rhythm and we'll be unstoppable. Because we have some of the strongest, most aggressive North American players on our team.
피지컬 위주인 플레이는 한번 말리면은 계속 말리기 때문에 팀플 위주인 팀한테 안 된다고 생각해요.
Well, I don't know who they are, but I'm gonna have to take them out and advance to the quarterfinals myself.
마지막 한 경기까지 깔끔히 이기고 C조 1위로 올라가겠습니다.
Well, words from both teams, some bold words from both teams, and I feel like one of those teams has been backing it up. The other team maybe needs to improve on that a little bit.
I like the fan the hammer we got from Sherfor right there.
Yeah, well, hopefully we'll get to see more of that. Now he's moving off with the Zarya, and of course, you have to give Gods a little bit of attention. You know, the scalp region, I suppose. He could do a sick Uncle Fester cosplay, by the way. That would be awesome.
Is so true.
Yes.
Well, wow, you actually just got him his next Halloween costume lined up right there.
Like when I see anyone, Monte Cristo, I don't see people. I see cosplay.
Oh, you do. You see costumes. You see Halloween costumes or cosplay.
That's right.
So the Uncle Fester, Adam's family.
Yeah.
I'll be Gomez if he goes as
Gomez. You grow a little mustache for that.
I'll grow a little mustache.
I'd like to see that actually.
I think I can pull that off.
Let's make that happen. That'd be great. I'm down for that. I'll be Thing.
Okay, great.
Yeah, I'll just be the hand. That's kind of the easy way. No cosplay required really for that. Just the hand.
Just wear a black suit and black gloves.
There you go.
And a black mask, and it's just only your hand out.
I'll just like have it crawl up people's shoulders. That won't be creepy at all. Well, Cloud9, again, a team that we've talked about with all that mechanical skill, but they need to put it together. They need to make a cake of team play deliciousness. So far, it's just been the chocolate chips, and those are delicious.
And the baking soda, and you gotta put all that stuff together, you know.
I mean, I was trying to think of ingredients that you could eat by themselves.
Well, you could.
Well, baking soda doesn't taste great by itself, I'm pretty sure. Well, there's cooking with Monte Cristo Donuts. Coming soon, guys.
You have to leave it in your refrigerator for a really long time first.
Well, there goes my appetite for the next quarter century. Well, KongDoo Uncia, again, a team that, like we saw Butcher say, is based on teamwork. And it's an interesting dichotomy, really. We've got the team that's very focused on the individual skill, the team that's focused on the teamwork. But these guys certainly do not lack an individual skill.
No, certainly not. We've talked a ton about Panker on this roster and what a strong tank he is, what a great Reinhardt.
Yeah.
And their addition of Butcher, we saw them over the course of this season, giving a lot of those nano boosts over to his Zarya, and he's been a real plug-and-play player, as you saw in the interview, him talking about how when he was on KongDoo Panthera, Reinhardt didn't really fit his style. He likes playing these off tanks, and they play around him impressively well.
Yeah, very true. Dance has made a great swap over to Roadhog as well.
I miss his beard so much.
I do, you know. I was missing it, and then I just looked in the mirror, and suddenly I had one. Like, wow, I guess that's what happens sometimes.
The beard transfusion was complete.
Just kind of
Did you steal his beard, Noah?
No, I didn't. I think the universe willed it to be there after he threw everything out of equilibrium by shaving it. The beard had to come back somewhere, and I guess I'm the recipient. If only the game skills came along with it. That's the only sad part for me. Well, it should be a great best of 5. I mean, no doubt. There's going to be a lot of action in this one, that's for sure. But, you know, does Cloud9 have what it takes to beat KongDoo Uncia? That's going to be a tricky thing.
As we can see, look at these lineups. Really, every player mirroring each other in terms of those most played.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's been a lot of triple tank that we've seen from these guys. Triple tank and a soldier, it's been pretty common all throughout the league, but especially with these two teams. Cloud9, probably the team out of these two that's been mixing it up a little bit more.
I mean, they mixed it up quite a bit, actually. And when it's most played, there's obviously a pretty big difference in percentage distribution between those. So don't fret. We will see a lot of variety, no doubt.
I won't fret.
Stop fretting, Noah. I see you fretting over there.
Fretting is not in my plan for the evening. Watching a best of 3 on Nepal is, though. As we're going first, it's going to be our control map. And we'll see who takes that first one. So far, the Korean teams have done pretty well in the control maps this season.
Yeah, and Cloud9's done very poorly. They're 0-2 on control thus far. And in their last match, they had a couple of instances where they had some pretty big communication issues and found themselves stepping off the point right as the other team had finished off the map. So they weren't contesting at the very end in some of these 99% scenarios. And it was not the best look that we've had from a team this season, to put it mildly.
Yeah, both of the last 2 rounds in Lijiang Tower, they didn't even have anyone on there to force overtime. Similar issues with the payload on Nimbani, too. So a lot to work on for Cloud9. Let's see what they've been able to put together to face a team like KongDoo Uncia. Time to get in the game.
Get it.
Welcome to Nepal. Looks pretty cool. Ha 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 ha.
The snow blowing around, yes, it does look pretty cool in the Himalayas there.
Yes.
I hope to go to the Himalayas someday, Doa.
Me too. That'd be awesome. I watched that Michael Palin documentary. Looked really neat. That was a while ago, but the mountains are still there, so
I think they're going to be there for a while.
Go see that.
They're
hopefully.
They're probably going to be there for longer than any other mountains, considering they're, the newest mountains, really?
A lot of the tallest as well.
Yeah.
Not all of them, but a couple.
Just most of them.
Hey, it's a basket.
Somebody got a basket. We'll never know who it was. But
I'm just glad that sound doesn't happen in actual basketball. Otherwise games would be really hard to watch because they make a basket like every couple seconds.
Pretty sure the crowd makes that noise every time there's a basket in basketball. But regardless, KongDoo Uncia going to be going for the Pharah here. Birdring popping over and taking a look. Dance back on the Roadhog, which we had come to expect. And
yeah, Surefour on the Pharah as well for Cloud9. So both teams pulling it out early on. Reinhardt say hello. And the mid-air rocket fight. Nobody landing any just yet. Meanwhile, Dance does get the pick onto Surefour. So early lead there for KongDoo Uncia in the battle. Yeah, it looks like KongDoo Uncia is going to push Cloud9 back initially.
Well, what the Pharah is useful for, particularly on Village, is because the high ground coming through that choke point is so common. And if they have a Reinhardt, if you pop over the building, you don't have to come through that dangerous area where you can get spammed out the doorway.
Right.
And you can also get above the Reinhardt shield and use the concussive blast to knock him out of the way, just to get some damage in onto the rest of the team. So we do see both teams running these mirror compositions, and they're still going to take that high ground route and try and regain control up top.
Surefour swapping over to the McCree now. Deciding he's a little bit more comfortable with that one after losing the early Pharaoh Wars. Uncia still standing strong on the point for the moment. Cloud9 just clearing people off that second floor, and now they're going to jump down.
Just getting the damage down early, and that's a nice flashbang right there coming right in.
Yeah. Well, both Reinhardts run into each other anyway. Mendo, pretty charged up. A lot of damage onto Panker, but he stays alive for the moment. There's a hook. Ooh, Butcher takes him out. And so already, KongDoo Uncia leaving Cloud9 short-handed. Yeah, they're going to have to back away. KongDoo Uncia dominating this one pretty hard so far.
Yeah, I like the switch to McCree, though, for Surefour, just because if you're playing far on this map, one of the downsides is you're not going to have a very long sight line. You can't get that far away. So the McCree fall-off damage not going to be affected too terribly much. And you may be able to pick up those kills, and it's going to be just a frontal approach this time through the main gate. Birdring coming in with a barrage.
Wow, okay, the hook comes in, but he got 3 kills already with it. I can't believe they didn't see him coming there. That is pretty disastrous for Cloud9.
As typically useless as Barrage can be, the pro teams have gotten better and better, particularly on this patch, of staying at a long distance for the Barrage. So they don't get as much concentrated damage, but they get more of the ult channel off most of the time.
I mean, we've seen Pharah players be a lot better about their positioning, too, when they do it. Like, he fired one rocket in there as he was coming in, but it was a fairly sneaky angle. Meanwhile, Butcher goes for the aggression. They're going to go for the Graviton Hog. And the Earth Shatter seals the deal. KongDoo, Uncia, putting the period on the end of this sentence. Nepal goes their way.
That was
Villagen.
A disgusting wombo combo.
Man.
And this is the teamwork that we've come to expect from KongDoo.
Yeah.
I mean, they know exactly what they have up. They know exactly how they're going to counter it, and they don't give their enemies any time whatsoever to react. You saw the nano boost come through onto Rib. They were trying to do something, but everybody caught inside the Graviton Surge from Butcher, and the crowd controls chain just continued through the Earth Shatter, and then, of course, with the whole hog there, keeping everybody in place to do maximum damage. Just a disgusting combination of ults from KongDoo.
I mean, you see people talk about teamwork in Overwatch a lot, but you rarely see it done as well as you see it done
It's
by
just so
KongDoo.
clean.
Yeah.
Like, especially if you the minute details. The Earth Shatter wasn't too early. They maximized the crowd control duration from the Graviton Surge. Very nicely done.
Really beautiful stuff so far from KongDoo and Uncia. Second point now in Nepal. We've come to Sanctum. Bird Ring over on the Genji now this time. So they're going to go triple tank, plus just Bird Ring on the DPS. Surefour does pop Dance out of the D.Va suit, though. Early start for Cloud9 looking pretty good. Although Lucid does get the return kill on the Gods. The point is unlocked now, so we'll see who can take it.
Yeah, Surefour trying to use the long sight lines that you can get from this high ground over the point, but they still have to deal with this Genji.
Yeah, Bird Ring's being so annoying. Butcher already has that nano boost. They like to give it to him a lot to get that Graviton Surge built up fast. There's a hook. Oops. Well, this he's almost got the ultimate anyway.
Yeah, sometimes you get a little bit too aggressive, so they may be a man down as we see Cloud9 looking to attack. Only a nano boost available, but Surefour about to get that tack visor, and that's going to be key.
Well, Mendo really close to the Graviton Surge, too. So they are ready to go. Butcher's
back.
got his, yep. Background, is he going to throw it in? He's going to do it. Waiting for that D.Va to get out of the way. Surefour on the other side, meanwhile, got the tack visor out, has a nano boost to power it up. That's 4 kills for the Soldiers 76 on Cloud9, and they are going to be able to flip this point.
Yeah, good read by Cloud9. They were anticipating the enemy Graviton Surge to be up because Mendo already had his, and he had not been nano boosted, unlike Butcher. So they move the Soldier around to the other side, make sure he gets that tack visor, set up a nice play right there, and they get the Graviton Surge out of KongDoo as well. Bird Ring now going to switch over to the McCree.
Okay. Making the swaps himself as well. Meanwhile, Dance on that Roadhog as we normally see him these days. Whoa, goodbye. Oh, wow. Yeah, Panker did end up falling off the edge there.
And kills keep coming through for Cloud9. They're going to take out
good.
Dance right at the end. So again, falling back at the right time. I'm not sure this McCree is actually going to do what KongDoo wants it to do here. It's interesting that they would pick this particular hero because the dive is not there. And Soldier, it would seem, would be a better selection unless they can land a flashbang above Rib's shield just to instantly win the high ground battle. Maybe what they're going for, but you have to walk up pretty far as McCree for that. It puts you in a dangerous spot.
A lot of narrow corridors to walk through on this point as a McCree. It is rough. He's going to fan the hammer. There's the Electric Cowboy. Deadeye grabs two. Man, he built that up fast. But that's what happens when you've got the nano boost. Takes out Adam. Nice shot there, and that is what they wanted that McCree to do. There we go.
Well, very rarely do you see the kills even with the nano boosted McCree, but it does charge that ultimate that much faster. And so they can't scramble for cover on that high ground. Caught in the corridor and grab two, but Cloud9 still with an advantage up at 65%. KongDoo will catch up quickly. And everybody just sticking to the same hero selections from Cloud9.
Yeah.
To try and press back on to the high ground across from the point.
Well, if they can avoid getting comboed like that again, they could probably take this one. But there's a Graviton Surge. Let's see what the follow-up is from KongDoo. Uncia Panker just wading in and swinging away. He's going to grab 3 himself. And that's going to be enough. Wow, Mendo not even given a chance to die from the reset. And KongDoo is drawing closer and closer to that 100%. They're up to about 76 right now.
Cloud9 didn't use any ults, though, and they drew out a couple from KongDoo, so it's smart of them, I think, to dry push right there and just make sure that they're going to be able to win this next fight and flip control over that point. They knew they had plenty of time, so I think this is a smart decision overall. And if they have intelligent ult management, they may be able just to ride out the rest of the match.
Graviton Surge, where's the follow-up? There it is, Tac Visor, and it goes down right away. Surefour's got that nano boost too, grabs a couple of them. Feel like we've seen this before. They're going to flip the point. They win the fight, got to run away from the Deadeye. Birdring not finding any targets with that one, or not finding any kills with it anyway. And Cloud9 on the retreat. They've lost enough people that Uncia might be able to take it right back, and they will. Cloud9 back on the point right now. Oh, but pushed off by the whole hog. We're into overtime right now. And KongDoo Uncia on the verge of winning Nepal 2-0. And it doesn't look like there's anything Cloud9 can do about it. That's it. 2-0 for KongDoo Uncia.
And that last push, because the Ana was there, they couldn't reliably get the Tac Visor and the Nano Boost off. They had to kill the Ana first. Unfortunately, the rest of C9 had already engaged on the opposite side of the point, so it was a 5 versus 4 on the high ground. Meanwhile, we saw 2 members of C9 just dealing with 1 on the other side, but the fight had already been lost. The tank line had already been destroyed from C9, and they got very little value out of the Nano Visor. But if you don't kill that Ana, there's a chance if you use the Nano Visor, you just get sleep darted, so you have to take her out first. Well, but it's that lack of coordination, right? They needed to communicate that the Ana had to die in the 2v1 before the rest of Cloud9 engaged. It didn't happen, and so the man advantage on the other side goes heavily in KongDoo Uncia's favor.
You know, credit to KongDoo Uncia, too, for having the good positioning that forced that sort of awkward decision-making that Cloud9 had to deal with. And it's just, you know, yet another tool that Uncia has in their toolbox, right?
Well, they didn't get fooled by that same play again that C9 ran successfully when Surefour picked up the 4K. Instead, they did the smart thing, which is just to attack where C9 was weak instead of allowing enough time for that flank to occur properly from C9. That said, C9 has been at their weakest on these control maps. Both teams are so far 2-0 in this tournament on hybrid maps. Now, this is where I think Cloud9 has a chance to do a little bit better. They were going to win tonight. It probably wasn't going to be on the control. Their other map types have looked a lot better.
Yeah. A chance to bring it back on Mbani. They did play this map against Africa Blue.
Yeah, worth noting that now KongDoo Uncia is guaranteed first place in this group, no matter what happens.
Yeah, that's right.
So they only had to win 1 game to lock in the first seed. They have done that, and now it's just up to Cloud9 to fight their way to that second seed. KongDoo Uncia could care less.
That's right. Time to go to Mbani and see if Cloud9 can tie things up, or if KongDoo Uncia will continue their run of pride victories. We'll see what happens. Time to go to Mbani. All right, welcome to Mbani. Well, the gauntlet's still there for me. There, looks like it's still there. All right, don't worry. Don't believe what we've seen. The gauntlet's okay.
It's just fine sitting there in the payload. Nobody's stealing that.
No, I can't imagine anyone ever stealing that gauntlet. It looks so secure. So secure.
Just sitting there in a glass case in the middle of that museum, easily stolen. But fortunately for everybody, it seems like Talon has like the success rate of a lot of like Pink Panther villains, where
that's true.
They really can't do anything competently or get any mission done, except for, I guess, killing Mondata. That was the only one that they managed to get right.
Yeah. I mean, one of the problems with the gauntlet just being out in the open like that is the glass. I mean, yeah, it's bulletproof glass, so that works well against most of the heroes in the game. But to stop Winston, you need Gorilla Glass, and I don't think they have that.
They definitely don't. But Winston wasn't trying to steal it, notably.
That's true. Well, how do we know? Maybe they were.
That's the.
Maybe he was just
over. That's the secret. That's the sick character plot twist that's coming. Winston is actually a member of Talon.
Winston actually becomes Doomfist.
He recalled the Overwatch agent so that the rest of the world would get really angry.
Well, we know in Blizzard games they love having good characters be corrupted and turn evil, so There is precedent.
That's
there
basically their only plot device, as far as I can tell with Blizzard.
I wouldn't say that, but there is precedent. There's many instances of this thing happening.
All right, well, interestingly enough, Cloud9 going to go for Pharah and Reaper right now with Gods on the D.Va, so high mobility composition coming out for C9. Surefour going to take the standard route. God's already on the point. He's getting quite, or Bendo rather, going to pick up those early kills, and man, they just bust through that Torbjorn.
This is really similar to what they did against Afrika Blue, actually, in their match. They steamrolled Point A with the Pharmacy, and I don't believe they were using the Reaper at the time, but the results were the same.
Yeah, it's a good read. I mean, the Torbjorn going to have troubles against that Pharah. Easy to take out that turret, even though it did desuit the D.Va. And the Mendo got onto the point and in the face of Dance nearly instantly shutting down the Roadhog. So very fast cap.
I'm really surprised, actually, that KongDoo Uncia wasn't more prepared for the Pharah Mercy, since that's exactly what Cloud9 used last match on this map.
And they just didn't have that mobility, right? If you're running the Zarya, Reinhardt, and the Roadhog, it's tough to reposition quickly to deal with the Winston, D.Va, and Pharah.
Sure enough. Surefour off to a great start. On the Pharah now, trying to get in the back lines a little bit, scatter people. Concussive Blast going right after the Ana. And Lucid in a little bit of trouble before he runs for cover. He's okay now. Surefour still, a little bit of boosted damage. Trying to finish off. Oh, wow, that works. Okay.
Very nicely done by Surefour. Great ultimate barrage just to clean up those last couple of kills. Birdring on his own and running for his life right now, but it's not going to work. Can't run away from those explosions. And this has been a very efficient and fast push from C9.
Yes, it has. This really is looking a lot like their push against Afrika Blue on this map from the last match. I'm surprised it's happening this way against KongDoo Uncia, but you got to credit to Cloud9. They really have been looking good on offense on Numbani lately. Yeah, they gave the nano boost over to Dance now on the Roadhog, just trying to get the damage that he can, but he doesn't find a good opportunity to use the whole hog. Gets taken out by the self-destruct from Gods' D.Va. And KongDoo just getting rocked here on Numbani.
Looks like Surefour went a little bit too far up there. Adam has the resurrection, but not going to use that. Just wait for Surefour, considering this push has been lightning quick already.
Yeah, no kidding.
And the whole hog still there for Dance alongside the tack visor, but they're not looking at an overwhelming ultimate advantage, especially since two ults are about to come online. There they go for C9. So C9 has a great opportunity to finish Numbani with an excellent time.
Oh, but look at this Birdring coming out from the tack visor. They've got the sound barrier, though, to negate a lot of that damage just in time, because he was going for the flank on the Mercy. Didn't end up working out. Surefour does go down, though, as he chased a little bit too far into the room there.
Yeah, good reaction by Gods, though, getting into the face of the soldier immediately. Birdring swapping over to the McCree now after using that ultimate, but Cloud9, the payload is keeping on rolling here right to the point. Somebody's got to get onto this.
This is crazy. Panker's on there now with the Reinhardt. The rest of the team has respawned. Can they push Cloud9 back? Looks like Cloud9 trying to push this one safely. Backing away. Gods will go down pretty soon there. Oh, there's a Graviton Surge. Okay, so this is going to be a one fight for KongDoo Uncia. So maybe finally some breathing room for these guys.
Yeah, but the investment was huge on that. They used the nano boost at the start of that fight. They used the Graviton Surge, and Surefour is still alive and being annoying, getting a little bit of damage down. Now C9 gonna have to push for quite a while though, but as long as they're patient, they can work their way back up to 6 ultimates. And we saw more discipline on some of these pushes from Cloud9 in that last map where they weren't committing ultimates, they were communicating well. And this is a time to get that done again. Surefour going to switch to the McCree right now. He does have to get uncomfortably close to the members of KongDoo Uncia to get this last push in.
I think it's gonna...
And also he's trying to deal with Birdring on the Tracer.
I agree, I think it's gonna work a little bit better than the Pharah was.
It's a miss on the Pulse Bomb.
Yeah, Pulse Bomb not doing a lot for Birdring.
Yeah, Birdring not going to get any value out of that whatsoever.
Well, Panker goes down without the Reinhardt. That's Cloud9's time to charge in. Graviton Surge used. Sound Barrier for KongDoo Uncia being negated pretty quickly. Gods gets a kill onto Butcher as Mendo wades in there. Surefour looking for victims on this McCree now. The payload still not moving quite yet. They have to deal with that whole hog, and they have to deal with Birdring on that Tracer, but now finally it's starting to go. Panker comes back, but he's kind of on his own. Looks like Cloud9 though
the
not
hook onto Mendo.
Yeah, not together enough to handle these respawns.
Yeah, hook onto Mendo causing huge problems for them. But again, Cloud9 not really committing very much at all. They used a Graviton Surge, couldn't get the payload, but they're coming up on 5 ultimates, Doa. And that's going to be great for them to just shove this straight to the end of the point. KongDoo has had to be far more committed in terms of ults to this defense than Cloud9 has on their attack.
Yep. That's right. Cloud9 with about 2:40 remaining on the clock for this offensive round. Plenty of time for a couple good pushes. They're going to pop the Deadeye. There's the Electric Cowboy coming in. Going to go right through that Reinhardt shield. Ooh, he got charged. Didn't quite get the kill, though. Anchor going deep, flashbang lands, but he gets hit with that counter Earthshatter just in time. Oh, there is just the Pulse Bomb Bird Ring needed, taking out Rolf. And it looks like KongDoo is going to be able to push this one back a bit.
And that was not the play Cloud9 needed to go for. First off, we have to look at Dance's positioning. He was underneath the balcony, knowing they were coming through the high ground. So with the Roadhog, was able to get fire into their backlines immediately. Plus the combination of Panker and Butcher. They saw the Deadeye coming in, Electric Cowboy used, and that meant, oh no, because they didn't have an opportunity to really get any kills because the Zarya bubbles were so perfect with the Deadeye, even though Rib got the charge.
Can I just get an Overwatch emote of you saying, oh no, like
no.
that? Oh no! I'd love to just be able to do that in game. Blizzard, please. Take that sound clip, make it an emote. Butcher goes in, ooh, combo time for KongDoo. Cloud9 drops the sound barrier though, but Bird Ring coming in with the Nano Boost, gets 2 with the Pulse Bomb already. And now the cleanup, 2 more kills, that's 4 already for this Tracer, and Bird Ring just going into carry mode now as Cloud9 got a little bit too close to the end of Nabani for comfort, I guess.
Well, C9 missed their window. Part of that other push, too, was Adam was getting very close to the sound barrier. Cloud9, they were getting greedy. They wanted to push it in with a couple minutes remaining instead of waiting for all of their ultimates to come up and really just maximizing their potential. They took a risk to get it faster, but that risk hasn't paid off, and now they're in a bit of a brutal situation. Surefour back on the Soldier 76 right now. Maybe he's trying to get Panker's shield down that much faster. Drop down once again from the high ground. Actually, I think better of it.
Yeah, you know, they're probably a little bit nervous with what they had to deal with before, taking some time to regroup. Mendo's got that Graviton Surge, and with 44 seconds left, this is a fight they need to make work. This is it. Do or die for Cloud9 as they try to finish Nabani with 3 points. 2 right now struggling on point C.
They do have a big ult advantage, and that's not going to be an Earth Shatter they wanted.
It got blocked. He threw a good Fire Strike through the middle of it, but it wasn't enough damage to really stop KongDoo Uncia. Mendo does get the kill onto Bird Ring, though. Really good to get him out of the way. Rib with almost no Reinhardt shield remaining. Lucid has that sound barrier, trying to get her on the back for a nice leap dart. Oh, wow. Panker comes in with the big Earth Shatter and the Nano Boost damage, and Cloud9 going to be routed, and that is going to be the end of this one. Cloud9 going to be almost impossible for them to finish at this point. Surefour tried to come around with the Tac Visor. Oh. He's actually getting the damage done. I may have spoke too soon. That is a huge flank from Cloud9. Last minute hero move from Surefour, but can they get the payload there? It's so close.
Dance is going to get it 1.5 meters. So close right now. Surefour with the clutch Tac Visor right at the end to pick up those kills and to chase Dance back onto the point.
They've got to fight the respawns now. Mendo comes in with the Graviton Surge, just trying to get the far enough away that they can push the payload, but it doesn't work. A few kills coming in. It's a brawl now. Graviton Surge for KongDoo Uncia this time. Rolf dives onto the cart, and meanwhile, Dance comes back on the Winston. Surefour takes him out, and they've actually done it. I cannot believe it. Ooh. Hero move. Mendo saving the day on that Soldier 76 yet again.
Yeah, man, that was so clutch at the end for C9. Could they have approached that point better? Yes, absolutely. They did get out positioned, and they did lose the ultimate economy battle for quite an extended period, but they managed at the very last in overtime to complete the map. And they will be at least given a chance here for some time bank time, depending on how well KongDoo Uncia does.
Yep. Wow. I am really impressed that they were actually able to finish that. That looked like a near impossibility, but it's hard to count a team out when they've got talent like Cloud9 has, and now KongDoo Uncia faced with the task of equalizing in points. Now, we talked a lot about the match between Afrika and Cloud9, the last best of 5 that they played. Cloud9, yeah, they did kind of roll through Nabani offensively, but they also got rolled defensively too. So I think this is going to be the real test of Cloud9. They've looked good offensively on this map before, but can they do it defensively? Whoa.
Taimu and Mickey here to participate in the group draw, guys. That's why Envy is here this evening, and
gather information on potential future opponents.
They are the one Western team that is so far guaranteed to go through to the top 8.
I see Internet Hulk out there too.
Yep. So Cloud9, very different strategy on defense than we saw from KongDoo Uncia. Similar to the style of their composition for attack, playing with that high ground, playing with the mobility. And Cloud9 has been a team that has run some Torbjorn and Symmetra on defense, and we're going to have a chance to see that again. Meanwhile, KongDoo Uncia, we'll see what they settle on for attack. Probably not the Torbjorn. And it will be the Soldier. So this is a composition that does very slow pushes, but they are going to have a hard time shutting down the mobile members of C9, and they don't have great Torbjorn turret killing capabilities.
Huh, that's going to be interesting. Looks like they're going to the second floor to start things off. That's where you would normally see a comp like this head. And Cloud9, got to be ready for this. Adam on the Torbjorn on the opposite side of the point as they come through. Dance gets a hook, brings in the Diva. God's nearly popped out of the suit, but he doesn't stay in it. Looked close, but he did get desuited. Trying to hide behind the payload now as KongDoo Uncia just handles the turrets, handles the Diva suits. Now they got to start handling the players on Cloud9. Surefour dealing with Butcher though. A kill on each side. KongDoo Uncia is on the point right now. Murdering, trying to fight off the Genji. Oh, he gets Mendo right as the Dragon Blade comes out. That is disastrous for Cloud9, and we may have a quick point A take here. Adam, not lasting too long. That Fire Strike doing work, and after they eliminate Gods again, that should be it. Surefour, though, coming in with the Soldier 76, getting a bit of revenge. Birdring going down very quickly, but they've got the Reinhardt shield. They're still building that control meter.
I mean, there are 2 people on the point right now, but looks like it's moving up finally, and this will be the cap here for KongDoo.
Well, I don't know. Cloud9 back again. That delay gave them enough time to get the respawns there, but they're going to drop the nano boost onto Panker to try to turn things around again. Cloud9 still desperately trying to hold this point A. There's a pin onto Gods. Panker still has that Earthshatter in reserve. Nano boost now going on to Mendo on the Zarya, and Gods coming from behind, being pretty sneaky on that Zarya, honestly. Hard to take out. But it looks like they've nearly got it now. Yeah, there we go. The payload rolling, but Cloud9 defending that longer than I thought they could, frankly, with the way that started.
Yeah, they bought another 30, 45 seconds off of the push, so not too shabby. And they're not going to really sacrifice that much time because they will be able to reform their defense pretty quickly. Problem being, though, is that KongDoo Uncia was able to get an immense amount of ult charge off of focus firing the members of C9 as they trickled into the point. So KongDoo Uncia going to be sitting pretty here, and Cloud9 probably going to have to capitulate on the next couple of battles.
Yeah, they may have to give up a lot here on Street's phase. Self-destruct used by Gods, and now Soundbear for KongDoo Uncia as they go on the offensive. Hackvisor ready to go. Earthshatter comes in. Birdring, though, not affected by it. It did go down, though.
Never mind, though. The problem there, KongDoo Uncia dumped 4 ultimates, but got very little value.
That was
the Earthshatter was quite poor.
Yeah.
And that means that KongDoo Uncia has to back off. That's a horrible mismanagement of their ult economy. And now Cloud9 gets a bunch of ults for free out of the member of KongDoo Uncia. This will really help their defense.
A Graviton Surge, Cloud9 looking to capitalize on this with some kills. Rib comes in with a bit of damage, and yeah, Surefour just absolutely tearing people apart on that 76. And yeah, very uncharacteristically sloppy engaged by KongDoo Uncia, and they're going to pay for it for a while. Cloud9 really kind of given a new lease on life on this second point on Nimbani.
I didn't actually see what Panker was trying to aim at because the camera angle didn't show what the intended target of that Earthshatter was, but definitely not helpful. And now Birdring going to try one of these flanks that we've seen so many times with this Tac Visor.
And looking for the kills, not really finding a whole lot. He's got Gods' Diva to deal with. That doesn't get anything with it. 2 ults coming up with nothing for KongDoo. Well, Cloud9 still pushing that payload, but now the Graviton Surge comes in. Sleep Dart onto Butcher, but he's woken up again immediately. Panker waiting in, doing some damage with that Reinhardt. And it looks like Cloud9 is finally going to have to, well, maybe give up some ground. I don't know. These fights have been a bit sloppy, but Cloud9 managing to hold for the moment.
See how long
anyway.
Yeah, how long they can. Now the payload's going to be rolling again. Wow, so the fight started with both soldiers being nano boosted during their tactical visors. Ends up with that not being a particularly significant play, but waking up Butcher on the Zarya really didn't do Cloud9 any favors and allowed KongDoo Uncia to push forward and win the engagement.
Yeah. It's one of those panic sleep dart things where you just hit it. The team's not ready for it. As is, though, KongDoo Uncia pushing that payload farther. Down to the second to the last corner here on point C. Some else to use. There's a self-destruct. And
gets a kill.
Dance. I'm actually really surprised by that. Dance goes down. KongDoo Uncia, short man push. They're going to have to back away.
Nobody else dying, though. No split spawning here. KongDoo Uncia moving backwards as a unit. They didn't commit anything. They're moving to 5 ultimate status, so they may be able to get a nice long push here towards the end of the point as long as they don't totally botch their ult economy like they did in the Streets phase.
Yeah. Payload's moving. Cloud9 has to try to stop it now. Because with the Earth Shatter, he may just try walking past Rib, but he goes for the charge. Sound barriers for both teams right now as Surefour comes in with the attack visor. He's going to take a nap, though. Wait for it. Wait for it. There we go. Okay, Mendo coming in with the Graviton Surge. Cloud9 trying to win that defensive fight. And it looks like they're getting the damage done. Yeah, that's gonna do it. Lucid sticking around a little bit longer, but Cloud9 does stop the payload for now.
Sleep Dart was good, but it was too late, and the value had already been gained from that attack visor. And again, KongDoo Uncia not coming up with much despite dumping all of their ultimates into that engagement. We were looking at the side with Surefour's flank, so we didn't see how the sort of main body of the fight played out, but KongDoo Uncia doesn't get a lot, and somehow C9 have another opportunity to hold right here.
Oh, that was a great Zarya shield on Reinhardt. They saw McCree coming down, they saw Birdring trying to flashbang that prevented it. Butcher, though, the Graviton Surge just roasts Rolf. Cloud9 with a couple kills, though, in the back line, so...
The front line was melted during that play, though, yeah. That's actually an extreme waste of that Graviton Surge by Butcher to only trade it for the Ana, considering everyone else on KongDoo Uncia was tied up with the front line of Cloud9. So, low-value play right now, and KongDoo Uncia struggling with their ultimates this game, uncharacteristically.
It's kind of funny, because I feel like this is the first time we've seen two teams that are really good with flanking continuously outflank each other, and it kind of results in something like this. See if Cloud9 can come in for this defensive fight now. Not dedicating a whole lot, just to self-destruct. Dance coming in the back line, so he's going to get desuited really fast. Rip does go down, though, so Cloud9 without the Reinhardt. Surefour gets the Nano Visor out, though.
And we do see the Nano Boost coming from the other side as well as Lucid drops it onto Butcher. Surefour going to Helix Rocket himself in the face.
That poor tree.
Stakes were made, but Payload has not been able to round this corner just yet as Gods is sneaking and using it for cover on the other side. 50 seconds remaining right now. KongDoo Uncia with nothing left in the ult bank. Now they get 2 up.
This is going to have to be one of these grinding pushes from KongDoo Uncia. They're not going to have the gigantic wombo combos, not 5 ults. We'll see if they can pair this Graviton Surge with the Deadeye. Birdring waiting for it. Got to turn that Reinhardt shield. No kills with that one. Birdring comes in anyway. Landing the shots he needs on the Mendo to force him back for the moment. Even desuited, Butcher throwing in the Graviton Surge. There's the sound bear from Cloud9 to try to keep everybody up. Lucid does get the kill onto the opposing Ana, though, and KongDoo Uncia with that sound barrier, having trouble staying up, and Cloud9 going to win that fight defensively big time, and only 10 seconds left. I don't even think KongDoo Uncia can get back to the payload.
It's going to be tough. Bubbly has to be the hero right now. He's jumping down, but finds himself in Surefour's crosshairs, and that's going to be it. Cloud9 will take Numbani.
Yeah, C9 with a pretty solid attack round, and then some pretty solid defense, and it's really weird. I don't know if I've ever quite seen a game like this where the team just keep flanking each other. But it works out for Cloud9.
Well, I think that Butcher is playing far too aggressively. The last couple of ults that we saw in the museum phase, he was hitting Gravitons on the backline, but there just wasn't Zarya charge or the ability to do damage to that backline. And C9 was reacting to the flanks by just all-inning on the front line of KongDoo Uncia and consistently winning those battles. So Butcher really has to have another game plan here, or the communication with the team has to be better, because he is getting very little value out of his Graviton Surges, and the misuse of some of these ultimates was the primary reason why KongDoo couldn't finish the map on point C.
Yeah. Well, so far, this is going pretty much identical to the match against Africa Blue, where lose the control, win on Numbani. We'll see what happens after the break as we move to our Salt map. See if Cloud9 can change things a little bit from last time.
This was a nice big bang play.
Yes, it was.
Pretty standard stuff, though, coming in. Graviton Surge, just drop that in there. However, timing was good around the sound barrier, letting it fall off, letting the Zarya shields fall off, and picking up the kills.
I liked them waiting a little bit for the nano boost, too, to give them that damage for the chase downs and the finishers. Worked well, 1-1. We're all tied up between KongDoo, Uncia, and Cloud9. Uncia already through to the round of 8, but Cloud9 still with a chance to get there themselves if they can get the win. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back to find out right after a short break. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Overwatch Apex Season 2 with Doe and Monte Cristo, and there are our Africa Blue representatives. And we will see a lot of players from a lot of different teams in our group stage drawing ceremony right after the matches are done today. Should be fun. See where everybody winds up in the quarterfinals.
It's always a good time. Last time it was super fun to see Rogue picking Envy, and of course that will all be translated. The players will be given interviews, so definitely want to see the trash talk that can result from some of these group draws.
Ah, the fateful Envy pick. Yeah.
Didn't work out so well for them.
You get to see history be made in these shows, guys. You can't miss it. Well, Cloud9 tying things up on Nimbani. Oh, God, don't look at me that way. Oh, hot and bothered. Oh my, rib. Well, Cloud9 tying things up on Nimbani, but now we go to the assault map. And like we said, against Africa Blue, they lost a control map, won on Nimbani. Now they have to change things. Now they have to win on that assault map.
Well, they don't have to win, right? You can
They
still
should
win by
probably win on the
escort
assault
and
map.
hybrid. If you can still win a best of 5 that way. Both teams have split their assault maps 1-1 so far this tournament, but as good as that was from C9, I think that a lot of that came down to Butcher's really bizarre flank and graviton play, done quite poorly without the follow-up of the rest of his team. And the value that we saw C9 getting out of their ults at the end of that last push was significantly greater. But KongDoo, when we've seen them play well, it's been Birdring playing the flanks, right? He's been the one there with the tac visor, cleaning up teams. And it hasn't been Butcher. Butcher needs to, I think, retool, stay in the front line, not tunnel on the supports like we've been seeing, and they need to go back to that ult economy that won them game number 1.
Well, see if they can do just that on Temple of Anubis. A battle to take the lead in this best of 5. Let's get into the game and see who takes it. I get it too. I like my crates to wear suspenders. I think it makes them look nice.
It's got to keep those crates together.
That's right.
Worth noting for you C9 fans out there, too, that Nimbani has been Cloud9's strongest map at Apex. So it did get a little uncomfortably close for the fact that that has been where their major strength has lain throughout this tournament. And now they have to start picking up some wins on maps that they may not be quite as proficient at.
True enough. Cloud9 on the
They should
offense
avoid
first.
King's Row against KongDoo as well, because KongDoo Uncia has been great on King's Row. And you don't really want to let them have that map as we see the defense starting here. It will be Triple Tank in May. This is something we would normally see out of KongDoo Panthera, actually. This is a composition that I would expect their sister team to play, not necessarily Uncia's. So,
I mean, I feel like we've seen it a bit from Uncia as well when they really want to hold something. Like, I feel like we've seen this on King's Row, if I remember right, as well. We've seen the Birdring May in the past.
Yeah.
But usually that's something they resort to if things are going badly, rather than start off with. So it is a bit surprising to see him begin with it.
Mendo going to be on the Widowmaker. It is going to be a triple DPS composition for C9.
Okay.
With a dive comp. So, of course, we've seen this a lot on Anubis A, but this is really bad for KongDoo because they don't have an answer to the Widowmaker or to the Pharah. Like, they just can't deal damage from long range. So this should be pretty easy, actually. The rock, paper, scissors comp game has more or less been absolutely won here by C9.
Yeah, got to land those shots. Mendo doing a good amount of damage early on already. Cloud9 on the point.
Like you don't even have to get kills. You just chip them forever. Yeah. Like who's going to kill everybody? Okay, they're going to like
Lucid. Yeah. All right. Well, they did take out Tripwire Rib, so they are bringing it back a bit now. Mendo is not gotten the kills on this Widowmaker that I think they were hoping he would, but he has done the damage. So it is a bit on the rest of Cloud9 to finish off those heroes as well, I suppose.
I mean, that was, I think, a positional mistake by Surefour. He went in very far into the left-click range of the Zarya, and they could just continue to chip away at the members of KongDoo, and they didn't actually end up accomplishing that. Now Dance gonna eat a headshot from Mendo, however.
Barrage comes in. leading to a lot of kills for Cloud9, and this should be a point they take now.
Positioning by Surefour. He was positioned directly over the Winston shield dome so that there wasn't going to be a chance for a lot of direct damage to come down. Nobody could get underneath him in order to stop him from that barrage. So C9 rolls through this first point.
Yeah.
Mendo, is he going to stick on the Widow? No. It goes to the Reaper instead, trying to get down and dirty in those front lines with the tanks. Has to be careful of Roadhog hooks, but he'll be happy that Butcher is swapped to the Winston.
Oh, yeah. Gods, meanwhile, still on that Genji, saving that Dragon Blade to use on this point, which may come in very handy.
No nano boost, though, crucially.
Yep, that's right. Still a pretty good ult by itself, however. And Elucid in a little bit of trouble. They have to drop the sound barrier to try to keep people up. Gods just going to wait for that. Yeah, Dragon Blade coming up as the barrier goes down. Looking for some kills, finds one onto Birdring. Bubbly goes down as well. KongDoo in a little bit of trouble. Cloud9 losing some low health members, but if they can deal with the respawns, they can do well. Barrage coming in to take out.
Oh, he
Dance.
didn't quite get him.
Turned away a bit too early.
He turned just a tad too early.
Yep.
Thought he was going to get the kill, but the damage reduction from the nano boost preventing the barrage from being successful. Rib's going to have to swap here. He needs to get onto the Reinhardt. And that's what he's going to do. Winston, not so useful as your primary tank on that second point. A lot invested. Res was used. Everybody going to reset that ult economy. Birdring going to be matching the Pharah.
Cloud9 still going to stick with that pharmacy. Still no Ana, as they're going to just try to come into the point, see what they can do, maybe just charge up some ultimates. They've got the sound barrier, but I doubt they're going to use it for a push. Not this push yet.
Yeah, lots of switches coming in from C9. Surefour going to be the only primary DPS hero right now.
Gods doesn't land the hook. Needs a bit of health. A decent amount of damage to Butcher on that Diva, though.
Chasing Lucid away. Can he get the kill? Needs to pick that
big.
one up.
That would be very big if he could. Finally does get it. Ana out of the way, but Gods falls for the Cloud9 side, so still going to be fairly even. Now it's Pharah Wars. Birdring versus Surefour. Surefour starting things off a little bit low. Yeah, they're going to have to back away after Dance got the kill onto Adam. Yeah, it was kind of the end of it.
But the kills keep rolling through on the point, and actually Surefour has zoned him out, so it's going to take a while. He's going to return with the rest of his team. Birdring going to rain some rockets in from afar, and it's just not enough. It was a good zone. They thought they had a man advantage, so taking the enemy Pharah out of the fight looked like it would have been a good idea. Unfortunately, cleanup wasn't there. He may have needed to turn back just a bit earlier to help out, take out those tanks.
I mean, at the end of the day, you've still got those ultra-fast respawns to rely on as the defender, so you can be a bit more liberal with how far forward you move, I suppose.
Mendo, for an opportunity to use this Graviton right now. He's going to use it early.
Just drop it right at the feet. Surefour has the barrage ready. A little bit of that damage gets blocked, but not before Cloud9 picks up 3 kills. Sound barrier for KongDoo Uncia. Yeah, late. Not really doing a lot. There's one mid-air shot for Surefour. Gods gets a kill into Birdring, though. Not going to need any more. And now Bubbly in a lot of trouble. There goes Lucio, and Cloud9 building a lot of control meter here. Self-destruct blocked by Ribs Reinhardt shield. Dance comes back in with the nano boost. Almost 2 ticks on the control meter so far as Adam tries desperately to keep everybody up. He's got the res. He's going to use it. Cloud9 still with everybody on the point for now. They do take out Dance. 2 ticks taken on the control meter now. Bubbly goes down almost immediately. No annoying Lucio defense for KongDoo Uncia this time.
Oh,
they may have this one.
Can't quite get the Tracer though. She gets the mega health back, trying to track down.
Oh, Sleep Dart.
Sleep Dart not going to allow them to actually kill that Ana. They may be losing control.
Well, Birdring killed Rib, and without the Reinhardt, it's going to be tough to finish this one off for Cloud9. Lucid staying alive on that Ana and certainly making the difference. Rolf gets a kill onto Dance in the end, though. Cloud9 having to retreat. They were so close. They did get 2 ticks, though, so if they can win another big fight, they should be able to take it.
Had Surefour been able to take out the Tracer, that may have been the big difference there, but Birdring living with such a small amount of HP, able to get the health back and then loop back around onto the point.
Right.
Now, everything has been reset again, but Cloud9 coming back with a significantly stronger ult economy. KongDoo is going to have to hold this with just a nano boost. Meanwhile, Rez already back up for Adam.
I was going to say, with the fact that Rez is up, this one's looking good for Cloud9. They drop the Graviton, surge barrage onto Panker right away to get rid of the Reinhardt. Sleep Dart onto Surefour, though. Fair's going to take a nap, but things are going well for Cloud9. Meanwhile, Butcher gets the nano boost to try to turn things around again. Rib does go down. Adam waiting for it. He's going to use the res to bring it back up again. Trying to keep people healed as Anna, or as Mercy rather. They do keep Surefour alive, and now the great Lucio chase begins. Bubbly, though, not lasting too long. Cloud9 nearly getting that control meter building again. Just got to deal with Birdring being elusive on that Tracer, but he finally does go down. It was enough time, though, for Butcher to come back on the D.Va. Dance with the whole hog. That's a lot of damage, actually, before he finally gets taken out by Rib. Man, KongDoo being so annoying with these respawns. There's the sound barrier. Desperation from Bubbly. Graviton Surge again. Control meter nearly there for Cloud9. Another long, long fight on Temple of Anubis. We see quite a few of these.
The great Lucio hunt continues. They can't quite get him off that column.
You know those Monster Hunter games? I've heard Lucio's the final boss of all of them now. It's impossible to kill.
Another barrage up for Surefour now. Is he going to have an opportunity to use it? Self-destruct goes down and gets the kill onto Surefour. And C9 can just barely not do it. They have to retreat. Oh boy, it has been so close on a couple of these occasions, but it will fall back down to 2 ticks. C9 once again going to come in with a heavy ultimate advantage. Lucid swapping back to Ana.
If KongDoo holds this, so at the end of this one, it's just going to say play the game and just show the word respawns. That's it. Along with maybe the sad violin music.
That would be heartbreaking if C9 can't actually take this.
Well, they were so close, and they still are close. A good opportunity with the ults they've got. Surefour has that barrage. Adam nearly has the res again, but 10 seconds left. They need to make something happen now.
Going after Lucid.
Looking for Lucid.
Gets him.
The kill. That's big. Waiting for it.
Hook on, God's landed a clutch hook on to Dance. This may be the finisher finally as the barrage just melts through KongDoo Uncia.
Yeah, that's right. They just got to deal with the stragglers. Birdring's still there on the Tracer, being very annoying. God's just pushing him back. They'll get it. Cloud9, a hard-fought Temple of Anubis offensive round, but they get both points.
Adam looking pretty annoyed at the end, though. They came close to being able to pick that up with several minutes remaining, but it just barely KongDoo Uncia holding on, so they get it in overtime, but not with the time bank that they would have liked.
Yep.
Still a chance, though. Of course, a full hold or a hold on point B, opportunities for C9 to take the map.
Well, I mean, at least he got the 2 points, right?
Yep.
Temple of Anubis is absolutely a map that you can hold on point B. We see it all the time, and even against a team like KongDoo Uncia, those respawns, man, they are really hard to deal with.
And they got a huge advantage, though. You have to think about that point A and how they had a composition that KongDoo Uncia basically had no answer to. It's really difficult. Sometimes in Overwatch on some of these first points, if you rock, paper, scissors your opponent hard enough, you can just roll to a pretty easy win. And that's pretty much what happened there on point A. Point B, things got a little more interesting as KongDoo Uncia had an opportunity to adapt. And Surefour will be onto the Genji. Interesting stuff that he's on the Genji. He has not been really playing any Genji so far this tournament. It's been Mendo and Gods. So they are making some shifts here. Mendo on the Soldier and Gods on the D.Va.
Well, Gods has been their primary D.Va player for a while now, and Mendo, you know, we've all seen what he can do on the Soldier. So I suppose if you want to run those two things and you want to run the Genji, I guess this is the answer for Cloud9.
Yeah, C9, they've been continuing with these highly mobile compositions. Rib on the Winston on the defense as they set up with a flank onto the high ground there. Rib looks like they're going to look for an opportunity to jump onto the team as they come through the main gateway and try and bisect them. Meanwhile, KongDoo Uncia Birdring will be on the Widowmaker. Not Dance this time, what we have seen previously.
Interesting. Yeah, Dance has been a pretty great Widowmaker, actually, so we'll see if Birdring can take up the mantle.
The problem with running Widow without the dive composition is you don't open that same amount of space for Widows to make plays. With all these tanks, you're sort of just slow pushing in.
Very true.
And I don't think that Widow is the most effective in this style of composition, but maybe they've got a plan.
I can always swap it easily enough with attack on this one. Dance gets a hook onto Gods. Gods taking a lot of damage, but he's going to get out and get healed up. Cloud9 already having to scatter a little bit as KongDoo just walks right onto the point here. Surefour coming in from behind, though, looking for the kills on the supports. Lucid with that biotic grenade, trying to keep people up, but he can't do it. Pretty good kill for Surefour to take out the Ana. That is very crucial as he looks for a bit more. Birdring does get the kill on the Rib, though. They do need to be careful. Oh, gets chased away and taken down by Butcher on that Zarya. Dance with the kill onto Adam, and it looks like, despite a decent kill on the Ana, KongDoo Uncia in good position to take point A.
Well, that's a very patient approach, and we've seen these kind of patient approaches from the likes of KongDoo on multiple occasions. This time they just get onto the point and with all these tanks force Cloud9 to fight them at low range in a death ball and just have that Widowmaker overlooking and trying to get what damage in that she can.
Yeah. Now Birdring swapping over to the Tracer, of course, for point B. Not staying with the Widowmaker. Cloud9 with the same comp on point B defense too, though.
Yeah, KongDoo going back to one of their staples, just triple tank and Tracer.
Yep.
They've run an Apex, and they'll be flanking around the side right now. Shield War has been won, notably by KongDoo, but Mendo's here, the attack visor, to make up for it.
Getting the kill with Bubbly. Looks like KongDoo may have to back away. That's a Graviton Surge, though. They're going to use it. Oh, boy. That is a big Graviton Hog, but Surefour in the back lines getting kills on the Genji.
3 for Surefour. Going to get hooked and go down in the end, but there isn't a chance to actually get the point here or any control percent at all.
Well, Surefour really saved
He
that
really
one.
did.
Yeah, that was a pretty clutch play by Surefour to keep KongDoo Uncia from getting anything out of the ult state dedicated to that push.
Yeah, but Cloud9 got no tools left. Sound Barrier coming in soon, however, so that will be matched on the side of KongDoo Uncia. We'll see how fast they want to push this. KongDoo may just be looking for some ult charge here and a slower approach. So they're going to try and charge up their Zarya shield and some of the spam that's going on onto the point before they take the route through the temple on the left side.
Sure. Birdring being sneaky. They're on the point right now, going in. Okay, Gods gets pushed away just a bit.
Look how meticulous these approaches are from KongDoo. They're really good at slow pushing.
Yeah, they are. Cloud9 drops the Sound Barrier. Time to defend here. Birdring coming in, looks for the stick. Gets it, but not enough damage. That was the Zarya shield, I believe, that blocked a lot of that damage. Birdring just trying to clean up now. He's kind of on his own. KongDoo Uncia has taken the position on the point for the moment anyway. Mendo does go down. Birdring trying to finish off Adam, who's very low on that Lucio. Ooh, gets some heals at the last second. Can he stay up, though? Lucid does go down. Cloud9 trying to fight this thing back. KongDoo Uncia drops the Earth Shatter, though. That's going to be a couple kills on their side. And Cloud9 losing a lot of ground here on point B.
Yeah, they are, and you get to see using that Reinhardt to push out, but they are going to re-engage now with the help of the self-destruct and the D.Va respawn. Everybody off the point now. It looks like C9 will hold for the time being, but KongDoo didn't invest very much. Bubbly actually nearly has another Sound Barrier, 75% after that extended engagement. So KongDoo, again, still looking strong. Cloud9, they've shown they can do work with the Nano Boosted Dragon Blade, but they're going to have to do it again.
Yeah.
Mendo on the Mei now. I think this is probably a good switch for them, considering it probably should have happened earlier, honestly, because of how many people and tanks that KongDoo wants to get onto the point. The freeze, the blizzard is very effective. And also, you could get that lucky right click to one-shot the Tracer.
All right, Surefour going for the Nano Blade defense now. Panker getting taken out early. Cloud9 looking like they shouldn't have any trouble at all holding that one, but that's 2 ults used, and KongDoo backs away, not really dedicating much themselves to that push.
Yeah, they
got
really
what they wanted.
They really didn't lose anything, and because everybody else was already backing out, they don't even give Cloud9 a bunch of ult charge on the retreat. So KongDoo, disciplined play, and Sound Barrier about to come up once again for both teams.
I mean, that's the thing, is you can have successful pushes in Overwatch without actually taking it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, they got the ults they needed to away from Cloud9, and now this next one's going to have a much better opportunity of being the one that gets in the win. Ooh, Reinhardt pulled out a charge, ripped very low. Gets taken down. Good start for KongDoo Uncia. Cloud9 drops the Sound Barrier. KongDoo responds in kind. Looking for a stick maybe. Rolf a little bit low. Oh, can't finish him off with a melee though. Rolf gets the heal. Oh, but he finally goes down. KongDoo Uncia winning this fight pretty handily so far. Birdring taking out both supports as Rip finds himself kind of on his own. Earthshatter comes in, but no way to really capitalize on it. Gets hit with the sleep dart during the charge too. So KongDoo in firm control of the point right now. They just need to dislodge Mendo to get the control percent building again, and it's so annoying with that Mei.
Mendo has the blizzard.
He's going to use it. KongDoo has to back away. They have to avoid these respawns now. Dance alone on the point. He may not make it out. Gods with just 6 hit points before he recalls and gains them back. Birdring at the kill into Rib again as KongDoo. They're not giving up quite yet. They responded to that blizzard really well, and they are still winning this point. 2 minutes remaining in the time bank too. They could have a much bigger amount of time going into this if they can complete it.
It looks like they are going to do it. It's going to tick up 1 member remaining, but it is the Diva. How many people can C9 get onto this point? Got the Tracer back on there with Gods. Lucio barely going to not make it as Dance drops the whole hog to push him off. Man, can we appreciate Birdring's tracking for a moment on some of these heroes? Watching him play that Tracer and the flicks he was able to get to clean up members of C9, pretty astounding on that point B.
Well, that's a big win for KongDoo Uncia. They finished that one with 1:42 remaining in the time bank. Meanwhile, C9 has 0, so it's going to be tough.
It's definitely going to be tough, and this is where, if you're C9, we've seen them run Symmetra Torbjorn. Do you go for one of those all-in defenses?
I think you have to. I mean, if you don't, you lose the map, so I feel like you have to go all in on the defense either way, but
nope.
All right,
looks like the answer is no. They will be back with the Winston, Diva, Genji that we've seen. So they are just going to do the same style of defense. They were not very successful against that slow push that we saw from KongDoo Uncia.
Yeah, I'm a bit surprised because, you know, Surefour, he got roasted pretty quickly by the Zarya on the KongDoo side.
Maybe they were anticipating that the Widowmaker is going to come back, and this time that Widow may be marked by Surefour. Try and pick her off while the slow push is happening, because that's the vulnerability, is the Widow is left for a long time alone in that backline, and nobody can really help her once they get onto the point.
True enough. KongDoo, though, not bringing the Widowmaker. They've got Birdring on the Genji this time. Going for that double DVS of Dance and Birdring, Tracer, Genji.
Going for the dive comp. So dive comp versus dive comp more or less here. Dance peeking around the side, looking to see find something, but not going to want to be finding that Diva.
Yeah, you can play it safe and just gain a bit of ult charge. Birdring, meanwhile, charging across, gets a kill on the Mendo. That's a really good start for KongDoo Uncia. Birdring gets 2, actually, tearing C9 apart, and already this defense getting very desperate for Cloud9. Gods and Surefour managed to pick up a couple, but Dance is just cleaning up on this Tracer.
Yeah, the initial kills giving a lot of power over. Surefour getting next to no damage down as he falls to the Diva and the Genji from KongDoo Uncia. And this is so desperate at the end. Mendo does get Dance. He's the last one alive on the point. He's the only hope for this team, but their Panker jumps in on the Winston.
Well, okay, Rolf back again. Wow, Cloud9 getting some respawns there. Adam being annoying on the Lucio as well. But I don't know if they can do it. Maybe. Nah, KongDoo getting too many kills here. Birdring putting that Nano Blade, or putting that just regular old Dragon Blade to good use. And that should be about it. Yeah, point A. Self-destruct coming in to try to push Cloud9 back. They do pop Gods out of the Diva suit. Meanwhile, Mendo trying to be a hero, but there goes Tracer. No cavalry here this time, and yeah, that's an easy win for KongDoo Uncia.
Yeah, nano boosting the Winston at the end too. Exactly what you want to do against the Mini Diva and the Tracer. Make sure that they're going to take a bunch of damage that they can't easily escape from. Minimize your ability to miss in those situations just by using the Tesla cannon at close range. And you know they have to contest that point. So KongDoo going to take it 3-2 and put themselves 1 game away from eliminating Cloud9 from Apex.
Yep.
This is do or die time for C9. The one advantage I think that they can take to heart is that maybe they don't have to play KongDoo Uncia on King's Row, because they are going to have the map selection here.
Well, if they pick King's Row, that would be pretty shocking.
Well, KongDoo Uncia is 2-0 on King's Row this tournament, and they have looked wonderful on that map. You do not pick King's Row if you are Cloud9 right now.
No, you don't. You definitely do not. See what Cloud9 decides to go with, but yeah, their tournament is on the line right now. It is literally win or go home for these guys.
One thing we can say about Cloud9 is, win or lose, they've looked significantly better tonight than they did against Africa Blue. King's Row not even an option, will be Gibraltar.
Okay. So Gibraltar will be where Cloud9 makes their last stand.
Or second to last stand.
Perhaps. It's their first last stand.
Their first last stand. Yeah. Their first Alamo.
It may be their last stand now, but it may be their second to last stand. We'll know in approximately, what, like 15 minutes?
They are 0-1 on Gibraltar. in this tournament so far. So,
well,
interesting that they select that map in particular.
Not a large sample size to go off of, though,
True.
really.
I just wasn't very impressed with their Gibraltar play. But with the kind of compositions they've been running, similar to what we've seen from Envy at times on that point A, maybe they're confident because they've been practicing these highly mobile comps.
We'll find out. Do or die for Cloud9 as they need to win this map if they want to have a chance to move on. Meanwhile, KongDoo, they're going to cruise to the playoffs either way. We'll see if they can end it right here. Time to go to Gibraltar.
I get it.
Well, Cloud9 has got to get it. If they want to keep moving on in Apex, they need to win this map, and they need to win the next map against one of easily the best teams in Korea in KongDoo Uncia.
Hey, they've been giving them a good run for their money, though.
Yeah, they sure have.
A couple of close maps.
One thing I think you can say for Cloud9 is they have been looking better each match we've seen them.
I don't know. I think they look pretty bad against Africa Blue, frankly.
I still think
they came off with a win against Combox, and I think really underperformed in a match that they probably should have been able to win.
I still think they look better than they did against Combox. I think Combox is just really easy to beat. But
I disagree. I think that was kind of a cluster, that Africa Blue match.
Well, there's only one way to solve this. 1v1 Mario Party. After this, it's going down.
That's how we solve all our problems, guys.
That's right. Yep, that's how the world should solve their problems, too. Although Mario Party can make people very violent, so maybe that's actually not such a great idea.
Okay. Well, KongDoo, they are continuing to run the triple tank soldier. But if Cloud9 runs a dive composition, their ability to reposition on some of those upper platforms on point A may be another point of weakness. Or even a Farah coming through. Rolf, looks like he'll be on the Zenyatta this time around. So how good is C9's target selection? Uncia going to go up there immediately, scoping out.
Yep. Cloud9 getting that payload rolling. You don't see a lot of aggressive defense until the payload is on its way through car wash.
Now, this is a style of composition that we usually see from a team like LW Blue, where if you have excellent target selection, as Surefour goes around for a long flank, he's waiting to see if Soldier is going to be up here, but that defense isn't coming through as Birdring is playing really far forward.
Yeah, meanwhile, Surefour gets in the back lines, forces Surefour to drop that biotic field. Dance does go down early on as Gods picks up a nice pick. Surefour gets one himself, and Cloud9 rolling pretty well here on Gibraltar.
This is a really weird defense from KongDoo Uncia. They didn't contest the high ground at all, and they played so far forward that they didn't even really have an opportunity to stall out the payload at all. Like, I don't know why you would do that. Usually you see the Ana and the Soldier on the top there, and they would have won that 1v2 against the Tracer. So strange decision-making here for KongDoo.
I'm not sure if they were planning on just backing up through security up on the high ground, but it was odd. Meanwhile, Cloud9 continues to be very aggressive as they go into hangar. Gods pulling out the Dragon Blade now. Graviton Surge, though, coming in for KongDoo, and they're going to stop Cloud9 cold right here.
Yeah, caught the Genji right at the end of the dash in the Graviton Surge. Nicely done by Butcher. But they didn't invest too much. It was just a Dragon Blade right now. Cloud9 approaching a status where they're going to have 5 ultimates. They should be pretty comfortable with what's going on. Bit of a free charge there from the Fire Strike for Mendo on the Zarya.
Thank you.
It's always nice when you get those as a Zarya player.
Just use the thank you emote.
Surefour back to contest shuttle.
All right, time for Big Bang. Dropping it in there, and all right, that's a decent amount of damage. Cloud9, pretty successful fight. They're going to drop the Transcendence just to make sure everyone stays up. They really want to complete hangar phase now if they can. And that is a great start to it.
Trance was a bit of a waste from Rolf, not necessary after those 3 kills came through. Would have been able to push through regardless if they lost 1 member. But better safe than sorry, I suppose. They maintain 2 ultimates as we see KongDoo come in.
Yeah, meanwhile, attack visor for Birdring. Trying to push back against C9, but they've got the sound barrier. Birdring does not last long. Surefour looking for some targets. KongDoo Uncia is on the payload now.
Fingers looking for a shatter.
Yeah. Oh, there's a nice charge. Meanwhile, Primal Rage popped by Rib. Yep.
Trying to delay this, wait for the rest of his team to get there. Gods pulls out the Nano Blade, but gets hit by a sleep dart and destroyed on the ground.
Meanwhile, Surefour is still standing. Gonna have to back away though. So Cloud9 held at the last moment by KongDoo Uncia.
Looks like he was hit by the Earth Shatter, excuse me.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, got hit by the Shatter instead. So, swap up now, Zenyatta. No longer an attractive option that Birdring and Dance are on that Tracer and the Winston combination. Very difficult to defend yourself and stay alive.
Especially in hangar phase. No matter who's on the other side, there are so many ways to drop down and kill Zenyatta that it's a tough hero to play on that part of Gibraltar, that's for sure. Trust me, I know.
You've got the golden balls, though. I know.
I have the golden balls. I can speak with authority on Zenyatta matters. Surefour trying to hold up Birdring as he comes in from behind. Cloud9 just trying to get back to the payload. They've got the high ground.
The problem with this switch is that they have to approach the high ground very slowly because they can't jump up there anymore. Everybody trying to get the shuttle and all the way around the side now. It's a deliberate approach here from C9.
Yep. Amount of ults on the side of KongDoo. Once Cloud9 does dedicate to the engage, the stalemate right now trying to be broken by the pulse bomb there.
Yeah, Surefour did force out the primal rage.
Yeah, that's right.
By using the pulse bomb, but Birdring gonna find him.
I was gonna say, yeah, Birdring doing a lot of damage and Dance just getting in there and pushing everyone from Cloud9 back. So yeah, they got the primal rage up, but they may not have wanted that. You won't like Dance when he's angry.
And KongDoo Uncia, massive ult bank now to work with, and certainly Birdring is going to be able to pick his up very soon. Pops around the corner, gets a nice bit of ult charge.
And gets a helix rocket to the face too.
All right, Surefour now off of the Tracer. Bit surprised that we're seeing this instead of the McCree, given that Birdring is doing so well on the Tracer so far.
Take the high ground to Soldier though, it gets good. Birdring, or rather Butcher drops a Graviton Surge, Dance with a couple kills. It looks like KongDoo going to be able to push this back for the moment. And there goes Mendo.
This is what we expect from KongDoo, right? Look at that. Right. They don't overcommit. The only thing they use is a Graviton. We haven't seen Butcher try those crazy Graviton flanks. He seems to have gotten it straight in his head now that he needs to just go after the front line and fight as a unit. But that allows KongDoo to stop bleeding ultimates like they were on Numbani and set themselves up for another nice defense. Meanwhile, Dance has nearly gotten his primal rage back, so this is going to be an extremely tough defense to hold, and that's a good shatter.
Yeah, Anchor with another great Earth Shatter. We see so many of these, but it's it's KongDoo with the follow-up again.
And this is where it's bad.
We predicted the jump. That was beautiful.
And guess how many ults they used, Doa?
I'm guessing one.
One.
Yep.
This is what's so impressive. When KongDoo Uncia is at their best, their positioning allows them to get maximum value out of every one of these ultimates. So C9, they're going to have one last push here. They're going to have 5 ults, but that's going to be more or less matched by KongDoo, and this has got to be effective.
Dance is lurking with that primal rage, and you can just disrupt the enemy team sort of positioning so much with this ultimate. He's just going to dive in early, try to get things going on KongDoo's terms. Cloud9 drops the sound barrier. Ult's going down all over the place. Graviton Surge, God's trying to capitalize on it with the whole hog as Cloud9 pushes forward. No kills yet for either side, but they're going to come in soon. There's a hook onto Birdring. Good start for C9. Surefour with the attack visor now. He's got to deal with that Reinhardt shield. He's got to deal with Danso. Not anymore. He gets him. Meanwhile, Graviton Surge for KongDoo as they try to turn it around, but there's no follow-up from the Zarya ultimate, and Cloud9 winning the big fight.
And God's absolutely clutched that by nailing the hook onto Birdring. He was their main source of damage. And you see, after that goes down, there's no more backline threat for Cloud9. They can just march right forward with their man advantage, take the fight into the front line of KongDoo without fear of their supports dying or their tanks getting flanked and poked out. So, nicely done. Birdring now going to be swapping over to Widowmaker to get the sights, or the snipes on the long sight lines here. Payload's still moving, minute remaining, and Cloud9 improbably again managing to push forward in the last possible waning moments of overtime.
Yeah, I've certainly been making the clutch offensive plays today, that's for sure. Birdring chased off the high ground by Rib before he takes a sleep dart. They do take him out in the end. Nice shot onto Rolf, and KongDoo with a pretty solid defense early on here.
Yeah, the kills come in, and that's the issue we saw from Cloud9 is, yeah, God's going to be able to dive that Widowmaker, but when everybody's on the high ground from KongDoo, he can get focused pretty damn fast, and that's a good switch. Surefour back onto the Genji right now because they realize they need another hero to contest this, and that Gods cannot be going in alone.
Yeah. All right, speed boost is Cloud9.
Shatter,
tries to
Rib.
stop the attack here. Rib gets a couple. Cloud9 really capitalizing well on that Earth Shatter. Still have to deal with Dance, but that's not going to be a big problem as he will go down right now. That payload's moving, but we're going to be into overtime here as they do get the team kill.
Rib once again winning the Shatter mind games. Blocked the Shatter from Panker, then managed to hold on. Mendo lurking on the side with a good bit of charge, and here comes.
There it is. Graviton Surge keeps everybody off to the side. The charge comes through for Rib. What a great final play from Cloud9. They've still got to deal with that nano-boosted Winston. Primal Rage, though, activated, but it doesn't actually give them the health. And Cloud9 finishes Gibraltar.
Wow.
3 points in OT, but they got it done.
Scary. Second map that we've seen from them that's either a hybrid or an escort where they finished the third point in overtime. They barely held on Numbani, but pulled it out. And so much credit needs to go to Rib on those last plays because had he not been able to land that Shatter, I don't think that we see Cloud9 pushing through to that third point. And he has been, in my mind, the most consistent performing player on this Cloud9 roster here in Korea.
Yeah. KongDoo Uncia looking a little bit stunned here. I think they thought they had it held in hanger, and after losing that last-minute fight, things kind of fell apart for them.
Yeah, clutch plays from C9. It was in the hanger, it was that hook. The pick early on by some over-aggressive positioning by KongDoo Uncia with their Tracer, and that last part, the Panker ulting the Reinhardt shield, gave Rib the opportunity he needed in the rest of his hand. This is it right here. You look at that. I mean, it just doesn't hit anybody. The Zarya shield, the Reinhardt shield there, and clutch turnaround on that Shatter. You can see why Panker thought he had an opportunity, though, because Rib had started to turn, but it was actually the Zarya shield that really helped out, the Zarya barrier.
I mean, you don't see Panker missing a lot of these Earth Shatters either. He's definitely one of the better Reinhardts we've got here in Korea.
I do think that Rib is really underappreciated, though, as a tank player. He has been...
Well, he's certainly showing it this time. Cloud9 with the defense. And all they have to do to tie this series up is just simply stop KongDoo Uncia from finishing the offensive round.
Yeah. Can they do it? They are going to be using Gods and single support. Well, double support, actually, so no single support. Adam will be maintaining the Lucio pickup, so not quite the same style of defense as we would see from Envy, but still going to have a good ability to reposition. Meanwhile, KongDoo Uncia, Butcher will be on the Winston. Bubbly swaps over now to the Lucio. But it's going to be 2v2 on the high ground, the Genji and the Winston versus potentially 3 members, actually, the Ana, Soldier, and Winston from C9.
I think Cloud9's going to play this one really safe. They're already starting very, very far back.
I mean, this positioning is pretty standard.
Yep.
Now, can Butcher get some work done up top? Lucio is also there.
Murdering comes up too. They push Cloud9 back a little bit, but they have to give up the high ground. A little bit too much incoming damage from Cloud9 side. Murdering back to the payload right now. Rib a little bit on his own, but he's being kept up pretty well by the healing.
That was good play by Butcher because he got 3 people effectively out of that fight. They're doing it again right now.
Yeah, well, that was really close. I mean, clutch biotic grenade to keep Surefour alive. Murdering goes down eventually. Cloud9 winning this defensive battle.
But when you get those plays, though, when you're zoning out 2 people or 3 people with just 1 or 2 people, the people on the bottom side of the map that are pushing the payload have to start picking up kills.
Oh, yeah.
Because the entire goal of that is to create those zones that add more value and give you a man advantage. But they're not able to pick up the kills onto Rib or Mendo or anybody who's positioned on that low ground, and they can't make the most out of some nice positional play that we see.
Good start for Cloud9. About 220 remaining. Goodbye. Boop.
Really nice boop there.
Yep. All right, there's a lot of damage to Winston at the same time because of Surefour. And already, KongDoo Uncia pushed back. Yeah, they've just taken way too much damage. Butcher, I guess, does get 1 kill with the Primal Rage, but Surefour says, all right, I can just jump down, you're on your own.
And he's not using the tack visor. Holds on to that cooldown. No need to commit to that just yet.
It's a very calm defense.
Yeah, C9 has been having great ult economy here on Gibraltar to this point in time. Wolf will get some healing done and get that nano boost up for himself. C9 approaching 5 ultimates. They've only had to use the Shatter, which is potentially why they held on that lower push.
Oh, Gods did get hooked by Dance. That's a short man for
Attack Visor
Uncia
working,
now, Yep. Attack Visor equalizing things pretty fast. Surefour, though, has to worry. There's a sound barrier on KongDoo Uncia.
He's running, doesn't actually go for the health pack, goes back to the payload instead and gets the kill.
Bubbly taken out Cloud9. They use the sound barrier. They have to use a couple ultimates there, but they do hold.
That kill from the Attack Visor onto the Genji was so crucial. Both players were ulted by the nano boost. Value significantly higher for C9 as Surefour's patience pays off, waiting for that. Bubbly now on the Zenyatta. As they need to bust this tank lane. I think that's what this is a change in strategy for them, where they're going to try and just win the tank war now and the frontline war instead of attempting to really dive in.
Yeah, see if they can get those really fast picks with the Orb of Discord too. Dance with the early whole hog. Get the kill on Mendo. Good start.
Huge
but
shatter.
Rip responds. Man, Earth Shatter into a kill. Does go down eventually, but Rib again trying to save the day. Looks like Cloud9 is going to have a little bit of a hard time holding it as Surefour gets taken out. They're going to go and use the nano boost too. Nice sleep dart onto Panker actually as Cloud9 still holding this with whatever they've got left.
Yeah, God's on the point, and actually it looked like Mendo may have gotten the nano boost there, charging forward his own people. Nope, looks like it's Surefour on top of the payload as he gets bounced around.
It's 12 seconds left though. This is desperation for KongDoo. They need to clean off the last members of Cloud9 to take point A.
And it's such a long run back for them, even though they have this advantage, but they can't get
they'll do it.
Any ultimates out. Butcher will pop that Primal Rage, so in overtime, 2.5 minutes are added onto this clock and they head into shuttle.
Yeah.
But because they just won that fight, oops, and that's a forward spawn there for some of the members of C9. They kill Rolf. It hurts when you get forward spawned like that.
Yeah.
Everybody else at the back spawn. And because of that and the investment from C9 to try and prevent them from overtime, they will have really no opportunity now to maintain high ground control or make a convincing defense until the last part of Hangar.
That's pretty tragic because they held that for so long, and now KongDoo may be able to build some decent time back if they can take Hangar quickly.
It's a decision that you make, though, as a team, right? Are you just going to let them have it in that overtime or close to the end of overtime and make a better defense with the high ground, or is this going to happen? The soldier wars that are...
Attack Visor, that solves that fight really quick. Birdering, jumping down now. They really want to complete this stage as fast as they can to get more time back, but Gods gets the kill on the soldier in response. Dance, meanwhile, on the payload. Gets the hook. There goes Mendo. He's got the whole hog and use it immediately just to keep Cloud9 at bay.
Yeah, they need to get more time here because the last phase of Gibraltar can be a bit tricky, but Surefour's coming back in with attack of his own.
Yeah, attack Visor specifically. And Cloud9 going to be able to hold the payload just 2.65 meters from the end of point B.
Just barely. And KongDoo used a lot of ults because they thought they were going to be able to push it out. They used attack Visor for just one kill. Then they tried to nano boost the Roadhog to push people away and clean up so they could just push that payload to the end.
It's really been a game of inches between these two teams on every map so far. Yeah, the only one that wasn't that close was Nepal. Everything else has been pretty tight.
Guess what? Dance on the Pharah now.
Interesting.
Mendo onto Reaper, trying to handle Butcher.
All right, sound barrier for Cloud9. They're going to go for the defensive attack here. Dance forced away for the moment. Butcher's still there. Primal Rage time. He's going to go in onto Cloud9. A lot of trouble for Mendo as he just gets knocked out of the way and knocked out of existence. Sleep Dart, though, that's going to take a lot of that Primal Rage time.
Yeah, God's got one as well, so he's going to be swinging away, trying to get rid of this. Dance, trying to get into position, but he's actually knocked backwards, so his value on this nano boost is basically zero.
Yeah,
that was actually a really good play by Gods.
Meanwhile, Rib with another Earth Shatter gets the kill onto Panker, and Cloud9 holding no Reinhardt. There's the OT. And KongDoo Uncia, they have nobody to really get back on the payload in a meaningful way, and Butcher tried to do it, couldn't get there. Cloud9 takes Gibraltar.
And they're going to take us to a 5th and final game this series.
Wow.
Cloud9 definitely in charge of their own destiny. They have looked a lot better on these hybrid and payload maps, but they are not going to be able to select the last map in this best of 5. That will go over to KongDoo Uncia.
This a scary position to be in for Cloud9. KongDoo Uncia with really nothing to worry about. They're already through the playoffs. They're already through in first place even. But Cloud9 with a huge chance to make the playoffs.
They've been coming out by the skin of their teeth, Doa.
Yeah, they have.
But it's working so far.
Yeah.
Oh, camera ran into the booth. Hate it when that happens.
It's a big booth, you know? Sometimes that booth just jumps out at you. You know how it is.
Get surprised by the booth.
Yep.
Well, see what KongDoo Uncia can do. They
like
and we're taking a look at Africa Blue because if C9 wins, that man will not be going to the playoffs.
No. That'd be pretty tragic for Africa Blue right there if they come to the studio expecting to participate in that group draw, but Cloud9 can keep him in that chair. Well, actually, they can't stop him from going home, I suppose, but they can keep him from getting on stage anyway.
Well, this is it. Do or die time for C9.
Yeah. Pride of the West on the line. Cloud9 must face KongDoo Uncia for a battle to get to the playoffs on the map known as Eichenwald.
All right, Eichenwald will be final map in this best of 5. These teams, it looks like C9 has had a pretty good advantage on these payload maps so far. KongDoo has not been able to have the best management of their ult economy.
Mendo not worried, apparently. Things looking pretty positive in the booth for Cloud9. And Rib, man, if anybody deserves MVP in this series, if they win it, it's definitely going to be that guy.
I'd have to say, I agree with you, Doa. Of course, depends on what happens in this final map, but
it's true.
Surefour's been doing great as well, but Rib, his decision-making has resulted in some big team fight wins.
Well, it is time. Cloud9, a chance to get to the playoffs. All they have to do is beat KongDoo Uncia on Eichenwald. Time to get in the game and see if they can make it happen.
I get it.
We began with a 2-0 on Nepal in favor of KongDoo. C9 picked Nimbani, came back and won that one. Temple of Anubis chosen by KongDoo Uncia. They took it in a close 3-2 in Time Bank. Then on Gibraltar, Cloud9 wins it 3-1 with that clutch overtime finish. And now we're on Eichenwald. Cloud9, a win here will send them to the playoffs. KongDoo Uncia already going through in first place. But pride is on the line here. And the fate of another Korean team as well.
Yeah, certainly. Symmetra is going to be the selection here from KongDoo Uncia, looking to get that shield generator down as fast as possible. But this turret placement, it is vulnerable if they have a Pharah Mercy. And we've seen Cloud9 really like to run that composition. And Pharah and Mercy can just pop over the building and get an easy flank onto you. It's probably why they have the McCree, though.
Yep. Well, we may actually see. Okay, I was wondering if they were going to stick with the Sombra, but they will go with the Pharah. It looks like no Mercy though.
That's a
no Mercy
grenade coming through.
Yeah.
At the start of this fight, Rolf will be on the Zenyatta again. They're looking to see what exactly this composition has. They do not see it yet, but Mendo somehow dies to the Ana very early on.
That's interesting. You know, the Zenyatta is a nice substitute because you can put the Orb of Harmony on the Pharah, and you can also siege that difficult-to-break choke pretty well with the Orb of Discord. So
I'm not sure they've seen the Symmetra yet, but
they should have gotten far enough to at least get zapped by one of the turrets, I think. Well, I'm sure they saw like the orbs floating through, so they know. Birdring a little bit low, gets taken out early by Gods. Surefour strikes with the Pharah now, backs away, out of range of the damage from that Diva, really. Raining hell down onto KongDoo Uncia right now. Bubbly taken out.
But he gets
Bubbly gets 3 kills before that, though. What in the world? Symmetra's
but he dies with 100% ult charge, Doa. He goes down at the end, and it doesn't really matter that he got those 3 kills unless he can somehow get back to this point fast enough.
Surefour
close to Butcher, gets out of range of the Zarya left click, but will fall to Dance. However, the rest of C9 back onto the point. Bubbly still has not dropped that ultimate.
Yeah, the respawn's coming in though for KongDoo Uncia. And like you said, Bubbly has that.
There was an opportunity for C9.
That is so huge, actually, that Bubbly got back with the Symmetra. Now they're either going to have the teleporter or they're going to have the shield generator. What's it going to be?
Probably a shield generator now that everybody's back.
He's going to go with the shield generator. Yep, I think that's the better choice.
You only really would use the teleporter if you were the last one up and you needed everybody to get back very quickly. Otherwise, shield generator when your whole team is there is significantly stronger.
Generally, that's right these days, yeah.
Oh,
Mendo, he knows right where this thing is. Ooh, but yeah, you can't contest that.
Got it, though, with
Whoa,
the
he got the pulse bomb in there.
Just nailed it. So
man.
Took that initial shot, but still made the play. Well done.
Absolutely worth. Meanwhile, Barrage comes in for sure for a couple kills that we didn't get to see, but Birdring manages to take down Gods. I believe as he was trying to pull out that Dragon Blade.
That's just
close.
A little too much to handle. But Gods is going to come back. He's going to have that Dragon Blade to use.
Yeah. Bubbly swapping over to Lucio. Good decision there. I mean, you're just not going to have time to build the ultimate again. And, you want the Lucio now at this point.
A minute and a half left. Now, the Cloud9 was able to get up to the second tick.
Yeah. Rib comes in. Oh, Deadeye. Dead McCree before the ult happens. Gods with the Dragon Blade, though. Gets 2 already. Transcendence comes in for C9 to try to keep everybody up. Self-destruct used. But Cloud9 really wants to take this point. A minute left in the time bank so far on point A. And Cloud9 looks like they may have it. Graviton Surge. Interestingly used there by Butcher. Where's the follow-up?
Well, there's enough follow-up, though. They're going to get a couple, and now the Pharaoh Wars have commenced with Birdring, and they still haven't been able to quite get this point.
KongDoo Uncia, they're going to force a sound barrier out of Cloud9. Adam dropping that one, but they still haven't quite taken it. Dance had the nano boost for a second, trying to do as much damage to Surefour as he can.
Got to make this work, but
Rolf
Rolf just a sitting duck on that Zenyatta versus the Diva. And so it looks like actually against the initial odds, they may be able to hold right now. Surefour still picking up what kills he can. They've got to do just a little bit more.
I mean, Surefour can do damage on the Pharah, but he can't take the point.
Falls back down to 2. 15 seconds remaining. This is Cloud9's do or die. Surefour has the barrage, but that is it. And Sound Barrier going to make it very hard to dislodge KongDoo Uncia.
This is basically their tournament on the line. If they don't take point A, it's going to be so hard to hold. Barrage comes in. Sound Barrier immediately. They do take down Bubbly, but Surefour killed by Birdring. God's backing out with the Dragon Blade, looking for the kill onto Lucid. He does find it. Cloud9, they've made the clutch plays before. They need to come up with another big one right here. But there's a couple really tough to dislodge players for KongDoo sitting on the payload right now, and that may be it. Self-destruct to keep him away, and Cloud9 will not even take point A. In order to keep this thing going, they have to full hold.
And even then, Doa, it will go to a control point.
Yep.
And this is the nightmare scenario for Cloud9. They could not really go to sudden death. That was something that they had to avoid at all costs because they have not been very good on control maps overall, while KongDoo has been stellar. So they needed to win on their own terms, and now best case scenario, they have to go and full hold and then win on a control point. And that, I think, is a remote possibility.
It's looking grim for Cloud9 as we swap sides. KongDoo Uncia on the offense. All they need to do to win this best of 5 is simply take that point right there on your screen. That would knock Cloud9 out of the tournament. That would send Africa Blue to the playoffs. And it is looking grim.
Oh man,
for the Western team.
It was so close there. On 2 occasions, they had nearly capped the point. They were a hair's breadth away from getting the control meter all the way, but couldn't do it. And Cloud9 has been clutching out in this series on do-or-die situations in overtime. They've been successful so far, but finally, that comes back to haunt them.
Yeah.
Birdring going to be potentially on the Reaper. It'll be interesting to see what he does there. Surefour on the McCree. Just in case that Pharah comes through, they have a tool to deal with it. Also, in potential anticipation of a Tracer pick.
I really like C9's comp as far as just being very stable. You've got everybody basically on their favorite hero right now. And it really doesn't get, I suppose, too much more comfortable hero-wise for Cloud9.
It is disappointing if Cloud9 goes home after this because you wonder where this Cloud9 was in their Africa Blue match. They have looked significantly more coordinated this evening.
Well, they got that training. Either way, we'll see what they can do when they bring it back to North America. But they've still got a chance. They can full hold here, then they can win the control tiebreaker. But they need to stop KongDoo Uncia from taking point A.
Patience here from KongDoo. Sticking with the Reaper. Charge not going to work, but Zarya's shield will prevent the hook from hitting from Dance.
Yeah, Rip missing the charge was a scary moment, but like you said, that shield from Mendo keeps him up. Cloud9 backing up to the point. There's a hook from Gods. A lot of damage onto Dance. They take him down. Cloud9 winning this early defensive fight. Mendo with a couple kills. And it looks like Cloud9 will be able to hold for now. Good start.
Tanker pushed off Gods once again. Hitting a nice hook, and that's a good split spawn onto Lucid as Mendo gets a nice right click in between those buildings. Finish off the kill.
It's going to buy another 5 seconds at least for Cloud9.
Still have 3 minutes to go, though, as we take a look at Mendo very briefly. Surefour with the Deadeye up and can zone if he needs it. Finally going to get the nano boost up as well. Not committing it to this fight, however.
Speed walking his way up there.
Nice shield break.
Took off
Very nice shield break.
Yeah, that allowed him to get the kill onto Lucid, too.
He got just enough around that corner to find multiple people with that charged Deadeye, so good value out of that ultimate, getting time and a kill.
And I mean, that's another one fight. Yeah, it was only one kill, but it causes KongDoo to have to pull back completely, reset again. Cloud9 has used up quite a bit of time already. They're going to go for the Totalstein as Mendo comes in. He's got the nano boost as well, but where are the kills? There they are, coming in now, and Cloud9 winning this defensive round pretty handily so far. They did lose Mendo, though. So if KongDoo can reset quickly, they've got the ult advantage and they might be able to push it.
But KongDoo's been dry pushing this entire game, Doa. That's the scary part, is that they have yet to use a single ultimate, and they know their ult economy is going to be strong. They may just go for the massive wombo.
I mean, all they need to do is take point A, so they can put absolutely everything into that.
I think this is smart play, right?
Yep.
You don't have to worry about pushing the payload afterwards, so why not just go for a 6-man push, or 6-ult push?
That's exactly what they're going to do. They're going to boost the Reaper. It's back to Beyblade again. He's going to get 2 with the Death Blossom. There's the Earthshatter coming in. Meanwhile, Surefour tries to equalize, gets 2, nearly gets 3. Oh, Birdring does go down, courtesy of Rolf. And Cloud9, wow, have they actually survived this one? It's close.
Oh, saved.
The Reinhardts hit each other. That saved him from the pin. I think, no, wait, Surefour, he got crushed between the Reinhardts. Ouch. It hurts bad. And this is a problem for C9. Sound barrier comes in. KongDoo just wants to try to secure this one. They are so close. Bubbly with the kill. Couple kills coming in for KongDoo now. And there goes Mendo. Rib comes back on his own on the Reinhardt. Not going to last long enough. And KongDoo Uncia will win Eichenwald. They will win this best of 5. And they will knock Cloud9 out of Apex Season 2.
Yeah. KongDoo, though, really pushed to their limits, and Cloud9 showing a much better performance here in the final match that we saw from them for the rest of this tournament.
Yeah, that's a tough loss for sure. I mean,
it really does, going to that 5th and final map and not being able to pull it out. But KongDoo Uncia, you see, they were so patient on that push, and that's what we see from really great teams, that level of decision making. Just go ahead, bleed C9 out of ultimates as they try and defend. Yeah. Who cares? You only need one successful push. You don't have to look for a long time moving the payload after that. So their patience pays off, and KongDoo will take the win.
Yep, that's a win for Africa Blue as well. They get to go to the playoffs now. They will finish 2nd in Group C. And KongDoo Uncia, despite struggling with Cloud9 pretty heavily today, still goes into the playoffs, I think, is one of the favorite teams in this tournament.
Yeah, I think that they had some more distinct weaknesses than we've seen from them in other matches. They did fall apart on some of their hybrid and escort maps, but still looking good on control for sure.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited to see what Cloud9 can do in the events that they're going to participate in next, because they looked very good in this best of 5 despite the loss, and should be a team to watch out for in the future.
Certainly a team that's been developing after their latest roster swap, bringing Gods onto the roster, and their practice here in Korea is evident in this last match.
You know, again, it's a pretty tragic ending for these guys, but I think overall, Cloud9 is coming away from Apex much improved.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But that said, Doa, the men of the West are falling one by one.
They are.
Fnatic, the last hope to get a second Western team into the playoffs.
That's right. We need still waiting for Aragorn to show up and help out the men of the West. Inspire them with a speech or something.
Now, Fnatic, their fate is in their own hands, as is Runaways. Whoever wins our next match will be heading into the playoffs in second place in Group D.
Yeah, so do not go anywhere. Should be a pretty action-packed best of 5 coming up. Runaway has been such a fun team to watch all season, and Fnatic fighting for the pride of the global teams here.
And not to put salt in the wound, Doa, but this is also one of those times that really goes to show how much every map matters, because had C9 took one more map against Africa Blue, they would have been going to playoffs, because they could have lost 2-3 and still gone. Like that, it really hurts, but every map here is incredibly important.
Well, if you're good at anything, Monty, over the years I've learned it's making Western fans feel bad. So par for the course there.
My special.
Well done, well done.
That's my mutant power if I was an X-Man, Doa.
That's true. At first, people weren't afraid of it, but now it's...